Hello, everybody. Captain Marty Brill here. It is Wednesday, April the 8th. Thank you for joining us today, and we do have a lot of things happening on the fishing front. It reminds me a little bit of an old locomotive, an old steam locomotive picking up steam. Pretty soon you're going to hear that whistle, and you're going to hear old Boxcar Willie singing, because things are getting better day by day, picking up steam just like that old locomotive. I'll tell you more about it when I come back.
Teachers Lair Marina in Hatteras Village is the closest spot on the Outer Banks to the Gulf Stream. Just inside Hatteras Inlet, Teachers Lair is fully loaded with bait, tackle, ice, snacks, and drinks for your fun-filled day out on the water. Want to get rigged up to catch the big one? Lee and the gang in the tackle shop can outfit you to catch whatever is eager to get hooked. To see the marina, the tackle shop, or to book a charter, go online to teacheslair.com. Teachers Lair Marina in Hatteras Village. Your fishing venture awaits.
Hey y'all, Captain Marty here. And when I was looking for a top quality mower, I went to the best. And the best is A&W Sales in Pinetown. Now at A&W Sales, they carry top quality brands like the Bad Boy zero-turn mowers, of which I own one now for 15 years. American-made, heavy-duty machines built to handle anything from backyard touch-ups to commercial jobs. They've proudly sold and serviced Bad Boy mowers for over 15 years. How about if you're in need of a trailer? A&W Sales carries the full line of Big Tex trailers, the best-selling trailer brand in the entire nation. Visit them in-store or online at awsalesnc.com, where tough equipment meets trusted service.
So we'll start out with our guys offshore, guys and girls, and we always start out with Hatteras, generally speaking, where I got my offshore career start on the Outer Banks after moving up here from Florida many years ago. But they had they've had some good blackfin tuna fishing. In fact, it was called Very Good, and that's a really delectable tuna to eat. They're not the biggest tunas, but they're plentiful. They're delicious, whether you're going to eat it raw, which that's what I call bait. But if you want to eat it raw, go ahead. Sushi, however you want to do it. I like mine with a little Allegro, a little Italian dressing, and on the grill. Thank you very much. Blackfin tuna was very good. And then they got their inshore fleet off to a great start already. When I say inshore, I guess I should say inlet and backcountry fishing. We'll have a little crossover between our backcountry report later and our inshore, nearshore inlet report now. But good sheephead fishing already. That's a great sign. Plenty of sheephead, plenty of red drum. They're around the inlets, and they're in different sizes. There's a few that are in the slot. There's some big ones being caught as well on all the inlets, actually, including, started out with Ocracoke. Now they're in Hatteras. And we're starting to see a few black drum at Oregon Inlet. So we'll keep you posted as these drum move up the coast. But really good for their inlet guys down there. Oregon Inlet fleet, we do have yellowfin tuna showing up. It was pretty windy yesterday, although we did have some boats go out looking for the bluefin tuna. And I think they did catch a few of those as well. Still, those are still hanging around. It's not going to be long before they move on out of the area. But that's okay, because out there in the Gulf Stream and all the traditional canyons and the places I used to love to prowl around, they're catching some nice yellowfin tuna finally. And that's great. That's the meat and potatoes of the Oregon Inlet fishing fleet. And there were boats that had limits. And I think a limit is going to be 15, 18 yellowfin tuna. That's crowd-pleasing fishing. Nothing inshore or nearshore yet for Oregon Inlet. A little bit too cold for that. So let's move on to our surf fishing. As you probably have already seen, it is picking up. Same thing. Everything moving right on up the coast. But we're seeing the red drum bite be really good in some places. Ramp 55 down in Hatteras has been one spot that's been good for all size ranges. Cape Point has fired up a little bit with both red drum and black drum. There have been sea mullet caught in many of those areas on the southern end of Hatteras Island, but now, as expected, from Cape Point north is starting to fire up really, really good. And we're seeing a little bit of everything: sharks, sea mullet, black drum, red drum, and so that's all, nothing but good. But really, I would still have to say that ramps 55 and 49 down on the south end of the island are the spot to go. We do have some pier reports now. The pier reports are starting to come alive as well. Avon Pier had a few drum yesterday. Rodanthe Pier had some red drum. They had some blow toads. They had some sea mullet. So it's all picking up. And I would suggest to you, if you're wanting to do some surf fishing, to get on down on the lower end of the beach, and you'll probably do really well. And it's really encouraging to see the sea mullet bite be as good as it is, because it's one thing to catch a drum, and a lot of those bigger drum you have to let go. You can keep a slot size drum, but the sea mullet are the ones you put in the cooler and you fry them up for dinner, and man, oh man, that's some good eating right there. All right, so we'll take a little break, and I don't have a whole lot to talk about in the backcountry, but I do have one thing to talk about, and I'll be back to do just that when I come back.
Come and experience fishing for the whole family aboard the Crystal Dawn at Pirates Cove Marina in Manio. The Crystal Dawn is a roomy 65-foot headboat, fully equipped with the latest gear to give you the best fishing experience. Worried about getting seasick? Fear not. The Crystal Dawn stays in safer and shallower waters to lessen the likelihood of that happening. Half-day and private fishing trips are available. To find out more, go online to crystaldawnheadboat.com. The Crystal Dawn Headboat out of Pirates Cove. Fishing that is fun for all ages.
So for yesterday, pretty windy, but some of the reports I've been talking about in the backcountry, we already have had at least one catch of speckled trout back there. It's just really not a lot going on. There have been some rockfish in the western sounds and up in the rivers. But you know what is biting, especially when you get up into Currituck County, but the catfish bite is on. That didn't used to be a thing. These are blue cats we're talking about. But the catfish bite is on, both commercially and recreationally. There's a lot of the commercial guys that are doing really well on catfish. And let me tell you something. I had some catfish for dinner Monday night. Fresh blue cat. Someone knew about filleting and skinning them properly. And I've always loved catfish. I can't find anything to complain about with a catfish, and it was really good. So, if you got your favorite spots, and a lot of that you can do in calm areas, up creeks and up some of those rivers in the lee, and you get away from the wind. But the catfish bite is good. There is a lot of catfish around. It's really so many, in fact, that it kind of makes you wonder a little bit. But anyway, that's one thing that's biting, and you can go out and catch. That's about all I have for you in today's fishing report. I do know that, we are turning the corner, as I said at the beginning of our report today, and it is time to wet a line, because now I can say for sure you ain't going to catch them in the motel room. So go out and wet a line and let the good Lord bless you richly today.